So this video is about how I set up my DIY CO2 kit. I've used the kit for the last month, so the mix lasted for a whole month. Right now I checked, I waited for the meter to show 0 psi, and I opened up the bottles so that I can throw away the excess and clean up the bottle for the next mix. So what happened here is all the citric acid with water from bottle A has moved to bottle B. So once there is no more citric acid, then the reaction will stop, and so you will have to throw away all the mix and then make another batch. Well, we are creating a very basic chemical reaction with citric acid and sodium bicarbonate, which mixes and creates CO2. Now I added 200 milliliters of water in one bottle and 600 milliliters of water in the other bottle. You have instructions for this all over the internet, but you can also get a instruction sheet with the CO2 kit. First, I'm adding citric acid with 600 milliliters of water. I always used to experiment stuff. I enjoyed mixing chemicals and looking at the reaction when I was in school, but I was sucked in science. That's why when I had to mix 200 grams of citric acid in 600 milliliters of water, I did have a milliliter cup so I could measure the water, but I had no idea what 200 grams would be like. I tried to convert milliliters to grams, but I got very confusing results in Google. So what I did was I put the citric acid in a plastic bag and took it to a nearby shop, and I measured it on the digital device. And then I came back and put the substance to this small container and marked the 200 grams for each substance. I know it was quite dumb to not know what 200 grams is like, or even convert 200 milliliters to 200 grams. But sometimes you just don't know how to do stuff, and you have to find a different way to do it. Try to get the substance and the water mixed well in both bottles. There's nothing to worry about, because even if you mix them somehow, the only thing that happens is there's a big fizz and it creates CO2, water, and salt. So there's nothing dangerous about it. So the most important thing is, once the CO2 kit is fit on the bottles, make sure it is tight and there's nothing leaking from it, because once the pressure starts building up and the bottle cap is loose, maybe there might be some issues. I don't know what issues, but I'm not sure if it would explode, but it might. It just might. So once everything is snug fit, both the bottles and then the pipe from the regulator to the diffuser, once everything is done, I'm going to squeeze some of the citric acid into the sodium bicarbonate bottle and create a small reaction so that the pressure builds up. And once the pressure starts building up, you can see the meter go up, or you can just feel the bottle getting tight. So then you can slowly release the CO2 by opening up the regulator. That's it. And make sure you get a bubble counter and a better diffuser. Mine sucks.